Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're back. We're ranked 6. We're gonna make a ramp druid. What do you know? Alright, let's put the usual culprits in. Do I want a Warth? Probably want a Warth. Probably a Warth is good. Myers. Maybe one. Actually, 2 Jade Blossoms. I'm a big fan of. Nourish. Let me skip to the awesome ones. I like Kun, the Forgotten King. I like the Ancients of War. The Ancients of War. I like the Bog Creeper. Caught up in the Bog Creeper. Why Shar J. Rage Unbound. We got Dwayne. We got Death. Let's go really fucking big on this shit, man. Yes, sir. You know, actually, this is pretty tight. Any big dudes I'm missing? Are there any significant dudes that I'm missing? This could be cool. Wait, am I missing anything? Am I missing any significant large nerds? Yeah, only one Mire Keeper. I don't really like running 2 Mire Keepers. Don't feel good. In fact, they feel bad. Oh, Earth and Scales. That's a deck. That's a card I forgot about. You know what I'm tempted to do? 2 Galaka Crawlers, 2 Hungry Crabs. Let's do it! These things have just, like, not a lot of synergy, but we're doing it. We are literally the anti-meta, man. Earth and Scales is pretty tight. It's fine, let's do it. Ramp, ramp, ramp. Eater of Secrets, then. My man. Hemet Nessingwary? Nah, I'm not interested in Hemet. Not interested in Hemet whatsoever. Boom! Get toasted, Hemet.
Malfurion versus Thrall.
For Doomhammer, I must protect the wild.
At some point, something went terribly wrong. Well, a deck tracker is working as intended.
Job's done.
How's the coffee? It's hot right now. Tastes like hot. Jade Claws. Yeah! Oh, no way, man. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, way. No! No! Oh! Well, what good news to have you here, Patches, you dumb pile of butt shit. God. This is the deck that we counter. I just need to not go herpder. God. is, do you want to build a snowman? Rare risk, you are correct. The scotch I recommended was Balvenie 15. Shitty shit dicks. Holy fuckbots. I wish I was ramping. Oh, I wish that I was ramping, baby. I mean, next turn we have 20 damage. 22.
The light protects me.
He's gone. He's dead. Become mana for me, man. Hit and then hit, hit, and then hit, and hit, and hit, hit, hit. Okay. Well, the only thing that lets us win is another living mana. Living mana number 2 is it. I want to be ramping now. Can I ramp? I don't even care. I'm going to concede. I want to ramp. I want to ramp. See, the game is instructing me to ramp. Ramp, ramp, ramp. Phew, that was close. That's what I want to see.
Versus Anduin.
The light shall bring victory.
I must protect the wild.
What day's your cheat day for food and stuff? Saturday. Depending on my mood, it can start as early as Friday night. Today we're going to start on Friday night. Ramp is not really run these days. It might actually be pretty good.
Is someone injured?
It's a really defensive looking ramp though. This is not typical.
For the wild.
For the longest time. Alright. Stop hurting the mouse. Dude. It's good to do little mouse exercises every now and again.
You wish to
Try to do it as fast as you can. And then this guy comes huge and I can heal him and they can heal him. Sick plays.
The land serves me. For the wild.
Gonna hit him with Cocoon, baby. I love clicking.
blessed be this funnel cake.
I don't have enough mana.
Ba-da-da-dum-bum. And then Ysera next turn. It's an awesome turn. Ysera is like specifically for the very controlled matchups. Alright. Do it to me. Dragon Fjord Potion. You may as well, right? If you're gonna Dragon Fire, you may as well just do all that. And we are in good shape. So then we can go to 7 next turn. Nope. We can go to 2 next turn, huh? God. I'm gonna keep Ysera nice and pristine. Alright, same situation as before. If we get Nightmare Ysera Awakens, we can deal a lot of damage. Ysera Awakens is ridiculous. It's such a ridiculous card.
A game? So kind of you to join me.
A game? So do-ba-ba-da-da-da-da-ba-do.
I bring life.
We're gonna win. We're gonna win. Yesterday we were rank 14. We went to rank, gosh, 9. Then we went from 9 to 7 with that same deck. The deck I'm running, I mean, I think actually doing the Hungry Crab Galaka Crawler stuffs is very good in the meta. I think Eater of Secrets is going to be comically effective as well. Should gobble his dumb little secrets up. Yeah, it's fine. Oh no. Oh no. Oh. I did it. I won my first game with ramp. Alright. Because in the aggro matchups, we will either get our ramp and hit the huge taunts, or we will get some of our small counter cards like the Galaka Crawler, Hungry Crab, shut them down that way. So it'd be a good match to get Hungry Crab.
My hammer burns with holy fire.
I must protect.
Chuck these 2 back. I think this is okay for me to do, because I run better than anyone has ever run in a game. So yeah, it makes sense. Let's see what string data does. God, Flimpets, this is kind of strange. I think last time I subbed you, I was just starting my venture into mechanical engineering. Now a week away from my final exam, and if I pass, I will get my degree. So strange. Last thing I remember, I was getting annihilated in a Backstab Tuesday. Was it Tuesday? It's been a while. That's so sick, man. You can build bridges now, and people can go on them and be fine. Dude, I'm so... Vamp Willow, happy day-nighting day to you. Sitting Duck TV says, so Sean, any birthday plans? I don't. I do not have any birthday plans at all. I have a lot of stuff coming up. Gotta get ready for the PC gaming show. Trying to figure out when Brood War HD drops. Just want to make sure I have all those videos prepared. Well, do I want a Hungry Crab? The answer is yeah. not too worried. I should have hit the 6-7 with my 1-1, I think. Yeah, I should have a lot of work stuff coming up. So I've been kinda, well, there's Wind Fury. Oh, it's not that bad. I gotta figure out something to do. Fuck. It's very fortunate. It's going to be a little hard for him to punch through the damage. And invariably next turn we can clear with the other Primordial Drakes. That's nice. That's nice. Jesus, that is not the kind of running good that we like to do over here. Good thing we got Needler Secrets. I think that's lethal, isn't it? That was a stupid game. My sincerest thanks. Well, I feel like Eater of Secrets is going to be so important in those other matchups that I probably don't want to change anything. I could have arguably not kept the Nourish.
Malfurion versus Malfurion.
I must protect the wild.
So I think I need to be a little bit more diligent about chucking this shit back. Alright, now is this a good idea or a bad idea? I just try to do this. Feels like not the best idea necessarily, but it's a lot of tokeny men, tokeny guys, tokeny druids. Jade Idol, what are you doing here? Well, I'm gonna hit him with the power of this. I think it's very weak to try to hit to draw a card because I think it's more important that I save the Wrath for the 3 damage. FS Forward Sounds says, what happened to Prince of Persia? Well, the game that was made for a controller is not properly compatible with a controller. Isn't that insane? Simply not compatible with a fucking controller. Specifically, when you try to move your character, he will only walk. Splintervate. Okay. For draws. Ah. Alright, hope this guy wants to build a snowman. Mobius Bans is why every time the bitterness just gets all the more vivid. That's right, today is Grumpy Friday.
My greetings.
Where shall I go?
Actually, I probably should have popped because I'm going to be Traderoniing in the pepperoni anyways. That sucks. Should've uprooted. Should've uprooted. Sarah would be nice. Wild growth. Sup? You're ramping, I'm ramping. But I'm ramping so much fucking harder.
Natural mistake.
A natural mistake. I'm gonna swippy swipe. Ka-dink dunk. And then I think, bonk, yes, very good. Ah, this Tar Creeper will save me from any problem I can possibly imagine. And oh my god, it's... Why charge? Ah! Bog Creeper! Druid of the Claw. Yeah, maybe it's bad to have hungry crabs and Galaka crawlers and all that other shit, but, you know, I think it's fine. Bump, 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 bump. Kunda Forgotten King. Bog Creeper! Bog Creeper! Nice. Gary Okar else is to my Twitch Prime auto-renew to you, or do I have to remember to do it every month? You have to remember to do it every single month. Kind of sucks for broadcasters, but I think it would not make business sense for Amazon to give away so much stuff. Go me! Through Shady Lane. You're no fun. Do we have Liesel? It's really kind. Says thanks for reminding me to resub. Oh, you're so sweet. As always, no one here is obligated to resub. It is all voluntary, and I thank you sincerely for voluntarily deciding to support me being in a grump-ass fucking mood today.
Time waits for no one.
Shark says, how much boost in subs do you think Twitch Prime provides?
My greetings.
I'm trying to remember what the official Twitch statement was, but I think it's like it was boosted by... How many was it? It was like 2 to 3x total subs site-wide, I think. Oh, nice. Let me do this.
For the wild.
I mean, we're gonna be just going in for the face anyways.
My greetings.
My greetings. Sharkon says, damn, it's an insane multiplier for streamers. I mean, it's both been good and bad. It's good in the sense of the absolute number has increased. It's bad in that because everybody has to manually re-up every month, anytime I go offline, numbers plummet. Like, they plunge straight into the ground, and that feels very scary. Just taking any time off feels really horrifying. Like, it used to be, it would trickle up, and then it would trickle down, but now it's like... Very, very stressful. Feels like every... every day I can't stream. It's easy for me to be like,
My thanks to you.
woo! Throwing things to myself. It didn't go as far as I wanted. Damn, all these people are joining with Twitch Prime like pseudo-random, Grim Gory, Advent 6, 6, 7. You're all great. Snowstar the cat says, missed uproot.
I can
Malfurion versus Jaina.
You asked for it.
I must protect the wild.
Okay. Eater of Secrets, be in my deck. Eater of Secrets, be up in my deck. Otherwise, I'm gonna feel pretty shitty. Whoa.
You want to cast a spell? I want to cast a spell.
Now, I don't know what you're doing later tonight, but would you maybe be interested in casting a spell sometime?
An incredible discovery!
Boom.
The land serves me.
Gotta be careful with this. This is the moment where Lawabwao fucks up.
Feel my wrath. For the wild.
We gotta get two of them up. We gotta get two of them up. No, as he says, so I started playing ladder next to Sean, and we both started rank 9. Now I'm playing arena because seeing you can't lose any stars at this rank just tilts me really hard. Never mind, went 0-3. Oh my god, I'm so fucking sorry. Although I'm chuckling because boy do I empathize with that shit. Still fine, he'll still probably need a trade into me, yeah. Well, I'm just gonna guess it's not another mirror entity. I'm just gonna guess. I'm gonna surmise here. This is gonna be a
For the wild.
solid guess, day 9. This is going poorly. I like Druid and Ungoro. Oh, this is the second game. What are we right now? Are we just 2-0? 2-1. That's right. We did lose one game. I don't remember what it was.
I'm late. I'm late.
Surely it's not the other mirror entity. Just turning them off. Okay. It's okay. Well, fuck. That was not a good ordering of secrets for me at all. I think I'm just fucking dead. guess I just do this. This game was kind of weird. I just predicted what he was doing. I thought he was the control-y guy instead of the secret-y guy. So I was much more conservative with my Eater of Secrets, because I was like, I'm gonna play it to win immediately. So right now it appears... Ooh, that's really terrible news for us. Appears that the only way to really win is to, like, do this guy into like a Bog Creeper or something. Primordial Drake works fine too. I mean, you can figure it out. Because he hits and he hits and he goes in. That game was stupid. I just misread what he was doing, so I didn't play the Eater of Secrets.
Malfurion versus Rexar.
Let the hunt begin. I must protect the wild.
Yes, this is the start I've been waiting for. Yes, very well. It's against an Unta. When is the next Star League match for ASL? Let me look. Africa Star League. Alright. Bisu vs. Sak was an awesome series. Shine vs. Mong was a weird, funny series. Soul Key Best. That'll be interesting. Soul Key is... really interesting Zerg player for me, obviously because of the switch back from...
For the wild.
Arguably, I could just run this out, but I can not do that and then innervate Bog Creeper. But best is a... let's see. I don't know Sak and Mong's playstyle too well. I don't watch their streams a lot. So, look, I'm just going to talk about Brood War, man. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to talk about Brood War, man. When Sean's in a bad mood, Brood War makes him happy. That's what I do when I'm really sad. I just surround myself with Brood War streams and just try to chill the fuck out. Okay, so, Sak, I don't really know too terribly much about his style. Guess what? Kablow! Bisu, actually, okay. Okay, let's a show of hands. Give me an I do or a nope, not at all. To the following question. How many of you know a lot about the history of the good players in Brood War? How many of you know about that stuff? Like, if I said who are some of the most famous players in each of the races? God, not a damn thing? Jesus, holy shit. Jesus. It's... You know, I gotta say, there's this really kind of funny, funky thing that happens as a result of... Do I want to kill that guy? I'm gonna kill him. It's a really funny thing that happens as a result of, you know, just streaming, where I stopped doing shows with StarCraft a while back, largely due to time constraints. And, you know, years later when I had more time, I just don't really know exactly how the Legacy of the Void metagame works. So I'm just sort of like, not really sure what to do in terms of, like, the creation of show content, but in terms of just being a fucking guy with free time, watching StarCraft, playing stupid co-op games with friends, now doing a little bit of Brood War. You know, I've always sort of like done it anyways. But in terms of you viewing me right now, it's totally reasonable for you not to know anything about StarCraft, because all I've been doing for the last X period of time is like various other games, Dota 2, StarCraft, all that. And so, like, you know, when I say, like, how much do you know about, like, the history of Brood War? It was shocking to me to see almost everyone say, nope, nothing. You know, it's just like that perceptual difference, because I'm still doing the StarCraft stuff every day, but, like, I don't do any StarCraft show stuff. So, like, my perception of me is going to be very different from, like, what audience gets built from the content I do. But, yeah, so, you know, 8 players left in ASL. There's Sock and the Terran players are Mong, Sock, Flash, and Last. Now, Sock and Mong are 2 players who, solid players whose styles I don't really know. I've only seen some of their games. What StarCraft stuff do you do every day? I watch basically every day. I guess more reasonably it'd be like 5 days a week. I watch M Canning a lot, if any of you ever done that. Slightly less frequently I'll play and do all that shit. Why'd this game go so poorly? I haven't been watching this. I just gotta concede. It just kills me next turn. I don't know about our tech choices, Hungry Crab and Galactic Crawl and all those buttheads. Maybe Hungry Crab's a little extreme. I'm just gonna keep going, figure it out. But Sock and Mong I don't really know too much about, but Flash is essentially the best player of all time in the history of the game. Now, there's some important things to note about statistics at a high level. Where if you have a 60% win rate against other people, then this means that if you play a best of 5 with another person, you have something like an 87% chance to win. Wait, like, chance to win in series based on individual games.
You want to cast a spell? I want to cast a spell.
Alright, I wanna figure this out. I didn't come up with this myself, but I just like don't want to. Whatever. But I mean, like, if you have a 60% win rate in like individual games, chance to win a best of 5 is something insane, like 85-90%, just like ridiculous. And how do I want to do this? I think I do this, and then I coin that shit out. And most of the good pros had 55 to 60%. And some of the really good pros, like the absolute tip tops, your Storks, your Bisus, your Bests, your J-Dongs, your Efforts, they had like 63 to 65%, which was just considered absolutely monstrous. That's just ridiculous. Flash was over 70%, and that's a 70% win rate against only other top professionals. I mean, it was fucking stupid how good Flash was. And Flash, there's a few things that I feel like are hallmarks of Flash style. Son of Pain says, why no Barnes? I mean, what would Barnes even do? You know what I mean? I have like a bunch of taunts and a bunch of battlecry effects. I get some 1/1s with taunt. I'm not really sure how super good it would be, but, you know, maybe Barnes is like just an okay thing because there's 2 cards that do something useful. I'm not even going to talk about Hearthstone anymore. I'm going to talk about Brood War. So Flash, part of what made Flash really exceptional is that he constructed lots of builds that were focused on continuing later and later and later and later into the game, and focused heavily on the later idea. Now, in strategy games, there's often a goal for many new players, many young players in games, to try to just end the game quickly. Why would a player want to do that in a strategy game setting? I bring up strategy game because a lot of strategy games, modern strategy games, are built around resources. Having money in order to let you do things. And so, because at the start of the game players have limited resources, it can be very easy to because players have limited resources, if you build an invisible unit like a Dark Templar, and I just didn't build the detection, I have no money, I have fewer tools with which to respond to the Dark Templar, and I lose instantly. No. Damn. Bring it on. And so this is what a cheese is. A cheese is, I am hoping to hit you with a particular strategy in the hopes that you do not have the proper preparations. And because it's early game, if you don't have the preparation for it, you fucking lose. Now, the flip side of that is that if you do have the proper preparation, you just, like, completely negate the Dark Templar and doesn't do anything. Like, losing to cheese is very easy, but also stopping cheese is fucking easy, man. It's, like, trivially easy once you become competent with it. Ooh, I want to eat all those fucking secrets, man.
Where shall I go?
And so, typically what you would see in the history of Brood War from, say, 2000 to 2005 were a lot of mid-game timing push styles. Okay, I see here. Okay, let's make it work. Hit me with your bears. What you would see in the 2000-2005 era was a lot of timing push type things, typically on 2-3 bases, something like this. You would see something like a Terran player who would go for tanks and spider mines with marines, push out, take an expansion, and that's how they would secure the base, is with this 1 factory, 6 marine, 1 tank, continuous vulture production style push.
When Earth moves, empires fall.
Alright. Alright. Do with it what you will. I don't give a fuck.
For the wild.
Too risky? I'm doing it, man. I don't give a damn. Just don't put my Eater of Secrets, please. Thank you kindly. And so, what you would wind up seeing from these Terran players who would get this early expansion is that they would blast up to, say, 5 factories, or, you know, a quick star port, and then go into 3 factories, and then go to 5 factories, and there'd be a lot of pushing and attacking and harassing and moving in at other angles. And by and large, this is kind of how players did shit. They just kind of... I'm about to die, aren't I? That kind of sucks. Where's my Eater of Secrets, huh? And what we would see a lot of these players do, particularly in Terran Berserk, I think is one of the best examples, is these players would just blast up to 2 bases, and then it was just 2 base, 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 that's it. It was like shitloads of 2 basing. Or even there were interesting 1 base timing pushes that were not all-in-ish. In StarCraft 2, 1 base attacks that are big are almost universally considered to be like big all-in-ish bullshit. I think I actually just killed myself with that sick play on me. And the thing that made Flash really exceptional when he was really sort of ramping in was he had really good build orders that involved getting 3 bases, particularly in Terran vs. Protoss. Flash was exceptionally good at really quickly getting 3 bases against Protoss. And if you look at the GOM TV Intel Classic that Flash won, Flash used the same fucking build in every single Terran vs. Protoss. He'd get 3 bases quickly. He'd get a shitload of mech, and then he would go +2/+1 upgrades and just win. And Protoss just didn't. Protoss just did not know how to stop this. Same thing against Zerg. Just would do these incredibly sturdy openings that would then transition into a 3rd base. And, you know, historically what a lot of people would do is they would say, okay, I'm Zerg. If I just get the Defilers up and kind of defend this and then defend that and get up this 4th base, I'm good. And you'd play against other Terran players and other Terran players. That would be true, but maybe they would have so many units it would be hard to get to that position. Or they would trick you, do some sort of sweet mind game play that catches you off guard, and they were able to get an advantage that way. These were pretty common ways to lose, but against Flash, you would get to do everything you wanted to do, and then he would just fucking kill you. And so he sort of ushered in this era of, like, really smartly thought out builds that were not, they weren't trying to be unorthodox. It's not like he was saying, you normally go mech against Protoss, I'm gonna go bio against Protoss. Flash is the sort of player who'd go like, well, I want to go bio, but what are, like, a bunch of really smart ways that I can do that will let me win everything. And by the end of Brood War, he was just the guy. He was the guy to beat. He was just so on point. In terms of a lot of his play style, he had absolutely exceptional... Where are my fucking Galakas at? Where are my Galaka crawlers at? Okay.
Where shall I strike?
It's not feel good. Flash had incredibly good build orders that set himself up for extraordinary defense. And if you watch a lot of Flash's games, Flash really did not have the most flashy, crazy micro. He never had the most weird, unusual, memorable builds. You know, I should have done this. That was a mistake. I mean, at least I can heal next turn, so that's good. He never had the flashiest micro. Well, I guess he did, by definition. Of course, all of the things he do are very flashy, being Flash. But he never had the most amazing micro. He never did the most insane, unorthodox strategies. He didn't have anything super identifiable, like ultra-fast upgrades at the expense of X and Y and Z. So I think I do this, and 5, 7, yeah. Dude, I messed this game up. This is a bad game. You know, I actually don't like Hungry Crab in here. I'm gonna make one change. It was very quiet, the way in which Flash was so successful. He just does everything very well. He's incredibly good at multitasking. He just does not miss beats in his build order. That's probably the most considerable hallmark of his play. Even when he's getting messed with a lot, he's very good at sticking on his build order. You know, instead of a Galaka crawler, it might behoove me to put in an ooze. Gluttonous ooze instead. Just kind of move my tech cards up a little bit. Hey, we can get Dwayne out early. You know, because I remember distinctly watching Zhangbi versus Stork, and Stork was just doing this early third base, and Zhangbi just like has a pretty perfect army for it. He has a shuttle with 4 zealots. He's been making dragoons out of 2 or 3 gateways. Zhangbi's even delayed his own expansion. And so you would look at exactly what Flash is doing, this very quick 3 base. And you would go, yeah, that's going to be pretty bad for Flash. And then Zhangbi would do the attack, and it would be very, very close, but Flash would just defend it really well using extremely subtle placement of his buildings, smart SCV pathing, exact tank placement, and he would hold it off. Now, if you're watching Flash's gameplay, he's just going for an extra command center, and he's building tanks. Right? There's nothing remarkable and like, whoa, I never would have thought of building tanks. What? Like, none of that shit's happening. But it's just so all around well done. And so Flash was just virtually impossible to beat. In the team leagues, there was a term called a sniper, which was a player whose sole purpose was to focus on figuring out how to just get a win against a specific opponent. Often you have Terran versus Zerg snipers who had really bad TVT and really bad TVP, but were very good against Zerg players. Terran players such as Cassie or Hwasun. And you'd get these people who'd go against Flash and would just do cheeses of all sorts. And there's this one period of time where Flash, again, this idea of trying to make the games go on long and get big, elaborate, multitask-heavy games. Flash was opening up with Command Center first in Terran vs. Terran, like a billion games in a row. It was comical how many games in a row Flash was just like going for this, and every single Terran player he played against, I think for 10 or 11 games in a row, built 2 barracks in the middle of the map, 2 rush, hoping that Flash would be going Command Center first in the Terran vs. Terran matchup. Flash lost like all 10 of those games in a row. But he just like kept doing it because he's like, they gotta not do it at some point. And everyone's like, nope, fucking working and keep doing it, man. God, it was so awesome. So Flash transitioned to StarCraft 2, got 1 championship in IM Toronto. Then he's come back, and he's the guy to beat. Now there's one exception to that, which is the Terran player Last, who I believe was on Hwasong Oz Pro Team. I'm going to look it up really fast. Where's Last? I want to say he was on the same team as Jaedong. No, he was on STX Seoul. Who am I confusing him with? Who's the very small Terran player that Jaedong was super good friends with? What the hell is the name of the player who's really good friends with Jaedong? Who was on Hwasong Oz? Let me look this up. Hwasong Oz. Boom. Who am I thinking about? Lomo! That's who it is. Lomo. Do we miss a lethal? We could have done 2. I don't think we have lethal. Lomo. It's Lomo, 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 Lomo. Last was a Terran player on the STX Seoul Pro Team, who basically continued to grind really, really, really hard after Brood War kind of had its transition out, and during that period before it's came back in, he's just been playing so fucking much, and he is an absolutely exceptional Terran player. I would describe him as very similar to Flash, but I see a lot more aggressive maneuvers with small amounts of units, and just sort of deftly pulling his way out of situations with very good unit control. Do you want to kill a warrior? Hit me with them crawlers. Okay. And Flash and Last are playing against one another in the round of 8. It's not on Sunday, I think it's on Tuesday. And I'm very excited for that match because I feel like it is a battle of the two modern masters of Terran. They're universally agreed to be the number 1 and 2 Terran players out there right now. Well, at least we have a reasonable run out because this is turn 2, turn 3, turn 4, turn 5. So Jalopy says, what do you think of Sak? You had a great win against Jedong in ASL. I don't know too much about Sak. I mean, the game looked pretty straightforward. I didn't look at it super in-depth, but... C is sloppy. I haven't watched a lot of C currently, but used to be called the Ceaseless CC, or the Ceaseless Command Center, because of his extraordinary ability to never stop building workers, no matter how much he got pounded. There was the structure of the OGN Star League was there was a top 16. And the way that the top 16 was determined was the following. There was one round back called the duel tournament, and 12 people from the duel tournament would advance to the final Star League, which is top 16. The people who were ranked in the top 3 from the previous Star League, Infinite Ancients, people who were ranked top 3 in the previous Star League would go on to the next Star League, so... That's 12 from the duel tournament, 3 from the previous Star League, for a grand total of 15. So who's the 16th? This is where the term Royal Rotor comes from. There is the qualification stage 1 down from this. I think I'm fine. I think I play this and hit him. Okay. So there's the Challenge League. And the people from the Challenge League qualified for the Duel Tournament, and the people from the Duel Tournament qualified for the OGN Star League, right? So it's offline qualifiers into Challenge League, which is televised, into Duel Tournament, which is televised, into Star League. So there's actually 4 stages to it. But the person who performs the best in the Challenge League, the winner of the Challenge League, that player gets to advance directly to the OGN Star League. Do I feel lucky? Nah, not really. I'm gonna do this and probably get a little break and cook my little guys. Damn.
Where shall I
go? And there was this one time when there was this guy named C, who at the time was on NBC Game Hero, and I think that he stayed on that indefinitely, didn't he? I think he did. He was on NBC Game Hero. He was really young at the time, but he was this Terran who was just had incredible ability to never stop building workers. That was really the hallmark trait that everyone knew him by. And just generally good Terran versus Protoss. Now, what the hell do I do here? Because this is... I guess I just cross my little fingers and hope to die. I mean, I don't know. And, one time. I bet you he just has the charger in his hand right there. C was playing in the finals of the Challenge League. So the loser of this would simply advance to the dual tournament, where they would have an opportunity to advance to the Star League. But the winner of the Challenge League finals would advance directly straight to the OGN Star League. Where my taunts at? Where my taunts at? Alright, well, there you go. I'm winning this by the skin of my teeth. And in the final game, it was tied 2-2 between Nal-Ra, who is one of the most famous early Protoss players. Probably actually the #1 most famous early Protoss player, who was known for his incredibly precise mouse control, just incredibly on-point mouse control, and his unusual and creative build orders. Nal-Ra was playing against Sea Shield on Rush Hour. I still remember the game. And Nal-Ra did a style that involved lots of High Templar with Storm drops. Now, already, Trey Williams III says Reach. Yeah, Reach and Nal-Ra were the two big ones. For sure. So typically in Protoss versus Terran, from the Protoss point of view, you don't really want to get that much of a focus on High Templar early. Not too much of a focus on High Templar early. Now, why is that? Well, you're going to be up against vultures that rip High Templar to shreds and can quickly get out of the storms, and siege tanks that Storm is good against it. Storm, honest to God, Storm's great. Storm's a really good spell, but do I want to do this right now, or do I want to wait for a better target? Gotta wait. Ah, shit. But tanks can easily shoot down the Templar. They tend to be spread out. It's not a game changer. Like in Protoss vs. Zerg, if you do or don't have Storm in certain circumstances, that's the difference between winning and losing, right? You'll get crushed, or you will crush. I think I want to do this. But in Protoss vs. Terran, if you are a little behind, you can use Storm to maybe tip it over the edge, but for the most part, early game, you're low on resources. You don't want to invest all that time and energy in something that's okay. It's only gonna be okay, you know? I'm saving my Galaka crawler, man. He will crawl another day.
The land serves me.
And so typically in the Protoss vs. Terran matchup, what we would see Protosses do is open Dragoons defensively, expand quite a bit while getting speed for Zealots, and then build a predominantly Zealot Dragoon army, bolstered by Arbiters, with High Templar coming down the road possibly. It's just a little more worthwhile to be focused on... Well, there we go. It's just a little better to be focused on expanding than on getting these High Templar. But what Nal-Ra did is, Nal-Ra incorporated shuttles with High Templar purely for the purposes of storming the workers. And this just... I think he must have killed at least 60 workers in this game. I mean, this worker death count was very, very high. And everyone was like, well, Sea Shield must be losing. Sea Shield must be losing. Like, there's no way that Sea can possibly pull this game out. But he never, ever stopped building workers at any of his command centers. And I think he even had 4 bases being regularly dropped at one point, and just lost so fucking many workers. Oh, that guy's getting gobbled up by the Galaka. I can go hit and then kill, can't I? Oh my god, lucky dog. Smell a concession in the future.
Astonishing.
And then Sea Shield won at the end of the game by having more stuff. I mean, that's how you know that someone has better mechanics and is responding strategically thoughtfully to what you're throwing at them. Assuming that everything is even.
Fly, Polly.
Alright, well, let's heal up. Assuming that everything's even, if someone's harassing your worker line a whole bunch, you would expect to win by a very nice timed attack, right when your opponent is a little weak. Or maybe you counter-harassed him. Or maybe you deflected the harass and made it not do anything, and then you won with more stuff. One of the last things you would expect to happen is, I did the drops, I stormed and killed everything, but he just had too much stuff anyways. Let me actually look this game up. YouTube.com. See Nal Ra Rush Hour Challenge League. Where the fuck can I find this game? Alright, C Shield Nal Ra. Rush Hour. Where the hell is this? Where the fuck is this game? You know, let me go to wiki.teamliquid.net. Let me go to Brood War. I'm just gonna look up C.
The light shall bring victory.
I must protect the wild.
Okay, K. It was K. T. Damn it, I can't fucking find this game. This game was great. It was a solid-ass game. Priesta. Nope. Alright, can't find it. Seems wasteful. I think I'm just gonna coin this out next turn. Yeah, and then Sea Shield was a really big deal for a while. It must have been 2005-ish since it was Rush Hour. And I think the thing that's really interesting about modern Brood War compared to that sort of 2005 era is that there's the expanse of strategy is wider. You know, you'll see things like almost all Protosses nowadays early expand. Almost every single one against Zerg takes a very fast expansion. Maybe this?
Tonight, a tale of
Yes, Sarah?
wonder and magic.
I dream the world trend.
You gotta admit, that's amazing. Let's get you Sarah Awakens one time. I guess I'll have to settle with the Drake. That's amazing. Back then, you know, there was not a whole lot of Defiler usage in Zerg vs. Terran. Which is crazy to say. Savior is the one who popularized it, however you say it. Dis.
On with the show.
Terran players often didn't get a gas geyser at their natural expansion because they didn't need it. You can support the gas that you need to make 2 factories worth of tanks, and then you just flood the rest as vultures.
Is someone injured?
There were essentially no effective mech builds in Zerg vs. Terran. The Tory Lunch Meat says 4 mana 7/6 seems like it's 1 stat point short. Damn, those memes are hot with the Tory. Holy shit.
My beak and claw.
I'm looking forward to that Dragonfire potion. And now the strategies are so much more spread out. I mean, the, you know, no gas at the expansion, 6 factory tank vulture push still exists, still has its merits and uses, but, oh, Enderband says, who is it in the rock with the carrier Dark Archon draw game? Was that best? It may have been best. I don't like this as much because he can pop and Dragonfire, so I'll probably need a Bog Creeper again from this. That's amazing. Oh, it was Chalrenge. That's right, Chalrenge. Fuck, I haven't heard of that name in a long time. Chalrenge, man. What a stupid game. Was that on Andromeda? Was that an Andromeda game, or is there another PvP draw I'm thinking of? I'm pretty sure it was just this ridiculous draw with, like, defensive Dark Archons and... Alright, well, let me just... I'll accept 4 damage. Kill this. Oh, guys, I missed lethal. I don't care, I'm tired. I'm tired, I'm exhausted! I didn't sleep! You know what? Alright. Let's go ahead and get to 10 mana, so that way next turn we'll have 10 mana. I mean, the whole reason we have Alexstrasza in the deck is so we can do those plays. And he's like, I'm gonna try and fire a potion him. I'd like you to meet my wife, Miss Lethal. I might end the show early today. Today was wearing on me. Snowman. Do you wanna build a snowman or who? Do you wanna build a snowman? Who do we want? What are we gonna rip from this? I'm feeling the other Bog Creeper, quite honestly. Fraction 94 is asking if I have any plans. I know what I want to do with Blue Issue in terms of content that comes out. Oh, hell yeah, dog. You fucking know I do, man.
You have been.
Getting back to rank 6, pick up sticks. An Eater of Seacrests. Alright, an Eater of Ryan's Seacrest. Alright, ramp, ramp, ramp. Glut. And us ooze. This is a glutton. Ooze, ew.
Malfurion versus Jaina.
You asked for it.
Protect the wild.
What about Earth and Scales? I'm trying to get around. Oh, Dirty Sean. Dirty Sean is going to figure out a way to screw this shit up. I promise to help children and help coins. I like children and coins. Oh, what are other wonderful things in Brood War? Ah, yes. Bisu, the Revolutionist. Once upon a time, the earliest form of gameplay in Protoss vs. Zerg was 3-gate aggression. Mixtures of Dragoons and Zealots. And the fact of the matter is, unit control has such an extraordinary impact on your success in fights in Brood War that if you just micro 3 gateways worth of Zealots and Dragoons well, you'll beat shitloads of people. Like an extraordinarily large number of people. And similarly, if you are Zerg and you do your build and you just control your drones well enough and place Sunkens at just the right time, you'll defend it and you can keep doing your thing. Now think about what psychologically this does to your learning process. It makes you not want to budge on your strategy. Plain and simple, right? Like, if every time I come to your gate, I throw rock and you show paper, very quickly I'm going to go, dude, this rock shit is just not going to work. But if you're playing Counter-Strike and you're in a good position and you keep getting the first shot off when they enter, but you keep missing that shot, you are not going to go, there's something wrong with this position. That's not, that might be true, but it's not the first thing you're going to think. The first thing you're going to think is, I missed. I got to get better at aim. And so was the case in early Protoss vs. Zerg, where Protoss players would open up with 2-gate heavy Zealot pressure into 3-gate Dragoons to back it up. Sort of non-stop micro festival.
Time runs out on me.
Did I lose connection? Are we fucking dead? Wow, it's crazy. I was just like, what? Everyone must have been absolutely, like, hanging on my every word. That's the only reason why. Peace out, Hogwarts, man. I fucking sunk right into the lake. Chat was quiet and Sky was just getting started. And so, you know, early on it was a lot of, like, 2-gate aggression, 3-gate aggression type stuff. And there were other build orders that I would say were equally as flimsy and nonsense. Well, flimsy is the wrong word. I mean, it's flimsy now because I actually know how to beat it, that sort of stuff now. But 3-gate gameplay with Protoss, common, just try to kill him. Opening up with fast Reaver to try to drop and just end the fucking game! Just end the game! And then that transitioning into 1-base Dragoon Reaver to try to push with a solid army. Again, man, my Reaver didn't quite go exactly as planned. Let me do better next game. Ooh, I think I didn't transition my Dragoons quickly enough. Let me just do it again. When it seems like there's so much you can do to influence and impact and make your play better, you don't really want to budge off styles. So styles tended to stay this way for a while. And briefly, for a period, there was 1-base Corsair DT, where you just open with a gateway, Cybernetics core, wall in with a Zealot, so you have like 1 Zealot at your choke. I shouldn't say wall off, that's a little bit of a misnomer. Empty Mana Crystal. Put a Zealot at your ramp, and then you would go for a very fast Corsair and a very fast Dark Templar. And the idea was that you use the Corsairs to kill Overlords, so your Dark Templar can get in, and then you take an expansion behind that. Now there's a critical that you know law that sort of lives at the bottom of Brood War, which is the law of a lot of shit. 1-base Corsair into Dark Templar in order to secure an expansion and or harass the enemy completely fell apart almost immediately and was rarely seen in the pro scene. I mean, it was occasionally seen, you know, but it just evaporated because of the fact that I think I want this. It disappeared because, you know what Zergs would do? They would just get Overlord speed and a shitload of Hydralisks and then fucking kill you, man. They would just go fucking kill you. And you'd have, like, your 2 DTs. And you'd have your 4 Corsairs trying to shoot the Overlords. And Zerg would bring, like, 11 Overlords and 2 or 3 control groups of Hydralisks and just fucking kill you. And this is a super common experience. super common experience with a lot of the early builds in Brood War and how they were discovered to be deficient. You just wouldn't fucking kill them. And so it pushed Protosses to doing something very, very long-lasting, is what I'd say.
Side effects? No. Trust me.
Well, I guess we're holding on to Alex, yeah? Oh, that's filthy.
I dream in a world.
Just gonna play Amara and set back down to 15, which is sick. This style emerged that became an incredibly long-lasting hallmark of Protoss vs. Zerg. Protosses would early expand, would then relatively swiftly transition to...
Change your mind.
Are we fucking serious right now? Very well. Haven't seen that combo in ages. So what Protosses would do is they would early expand, and figuring out how to defend an early expansion as Protoss took years of fiddling with wall-offs at the front. It's very easy for Zerg to just walk up and break in with Zerglings and kill you, or get Hydralisks quickly with just a range upgrade and kill off all your buildings because your stuff's too far back. Your cannon's too far back. Alright, I'm gonna toast this bitcheroo. Hit me with your Amara. Hit me with your Amara. So just Protoss spending all the effort trying to actually figure out how to actually like hold off this stupid damn expansion. And a 1, and a 2, and a 1, 2, but 2. Just figuring out took a long time when Protosses did figure out how to defend. The most common thing that Protosses would do is they would get very fast Zealot leg speed in order to apply pressure back to the Zerg. It would literally be like Expand, Cybernetics Core, Twilight Council, Gateway, 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 and you'd like see the Forge +1 working. It was cool. 2 pint-sized potions. God damn. I mean, if he has Shadow Word Horror, then I guess he's just better than I am, you know? I mean, our long-term plan is to Alexstrasza his face, but I'm entirely sure what my short-term game plan is. Let's go ahead and take a look at what's down here. This may have been better to just blast off, but I feel like I need to get a little bit more of my scary guys. And this just lasted for a while, and Protosses would open up with Zealot with leg speed, transition into High Templar, sometimes getting a 3rd as well, get a bunch of gateways with Dragoons. It was a very muscular style. But what Zergs found is that they were under essentially no pressure. There's just no threat, right? Like, alright, well this completely blockable, wall-offable army is going to casually waltz through the middle of the map. We're dead as fuck, man. We are daft. Whatever.
I bring life.
And I can build Mutalisks and kill off the Zealots while they're wandering around. I can build Lurkers and defend directly and do whatever I want.
Blessed be this.
Zergs were getting around 55-56% win rate across. Deathwing! Deathwing! We literally need the Deathwing Lisha RJ combo, and I think that's the only way that we win. Oh, he's celebrating early.
I will mourn.
You haven't died yet. 56% or so win rate for Zergs against Protosses. Now, I want to return back to the thing that I was saying all the way at the start of this, which is that it can be really tricky to move off a strategy that you are playing with right now. There's no taunts in here, is there? Let me just hit him with the well played. Move on to the next game.
Well played.
I concede.
If you feel like you have more to work on and more to improve in your existing strategy, you don't want to change your strategy. Your natural bodily reaction is, God, oh God, that's stupid. Let me play again. Play again. It'll be better. It'll be better. Let's just keep going.
Malfurion versus Raw.
And you know, if you have, you know, several hundred registered professional players all playing with and against this, and several thousand just below that expert players who are training partners on various ladders, how are you going to respond to this struggle? Well, you're gonna say, well, what if I early expand and I go for the legs quicker with fewer zealots? What if I delay the legs slightly and I have more zealots? What if this? What if that? There's countless what if this, what if that type maneuvers that you could do with this style. And all of a sudden Bisu comes around. And Bisu takes the Corsair, considered a bad unit against Zerg. It's really only very effective against Mutalisks. Against Overlords, Zerg has a shitload of those, and it's relatively easy to defend with Hydralisks, right? So people would say. Corsair is considered a bad unit, and Dark Templar, again, also considered a bad unit in this matchup. So, you know, just to reiterate, the reason that people thought that Corsair DT was generally bad against Zerg was the fact that there's so many Overlords, it's really hard for the Zerg player to not have detection, so the DTs can get easily killed. And with the Corsairs, it's very, very hard to even deal enough damage to the Overlords to make it worth it. What if you build some Corsairs and then you kill 3 Overlords? I mean, you've built 6 Corsairs and the opportunity cost of going for Zealot with leg speeds. Brr. Well, what Bisu demonstrated in his very famous series in the MSL Finals against Savior. Savior was the unbeatable king of the universe. Nobody beat Savior. Savior was in 5 straight MSL Finals, winning 3 of them. Winning 2 of them, winning 3 of them. I think it was 3 of them. May have been 2 of them. Fuck, he's gonna wish he saved that. And Bisu comes along and 3-0s Savior. I mean, fucking smashes Savior. Bisu donkey punched Savior in those games. That was not close. And what Bisu demonstrated is that if you have, by early expanding and going for Corsair DT, it's an even more defensive difficulty for Protoss, because Protoss is not building all these follow-up zealots. None of those follow-up zealots even exist. It's just just go bop. there's no follow-up zealots to defend against an all-in. You have to know how to defend with one cannon, one zealot, and probes, whilst going for Corsairs. So Bisu created a harder defensive problem for himself that he was able to answer. He was able to defend everything that was thrown at him. And then Bisu's multitasking with the Corsairs and the Dark Templar were so good that even when Savior was able to defend against things, Savior was pulled all the way back onto his side of the map. Through what? Not exactly the unit choice of Bisu, but the unit choice plus the insane control of Bisu. The incredible multitasking, the fact that the Corsairs would dart out at the last second and enter into another extremely threatening position very, very quickly. That's painful. He could just kill us next turn, but we're just going to pretend that that's not true. I don't quite have enough proactive stuff on the board. I really kind of need some swaggin' raggin' action, you know what I mean? And Bisu, by forcing the Zerg all the way back, suddenly Zergs... one time? Sean, stay alive one time? No double lightning bolt and hero power punch or whatever?
Out of my jungle.
Burr?
My life is your shield.
Fuck, man, that's bad. Fuck. Oh god. Once upon a time someone asked me if I wanted to build a snowman and I was just like, Jesus. So if I hit him with the Drake, I think that is the best play. Because I go bop da by do bop dib it up by boo bop a dip da by do. Hey yeah shit.
I shall bring you rest.
Doop doop blue blips bib da ba boo bip. Oh yeah. And so Bisu was suddenly forcing Savior back and getting third bases really quickly, which was very uncommon in the matchup. Zerg's just super defensive, and if you watch that first game between Bisu and Savior, Savior has a very expand-heavy build and is almost able to stabilize, almost able to stabilize, almost able to stabilize against this very aggressive Corsair DT harassment. And amazingly... Is that a different White Eyes? That's the same White Eyes, is it not? I think it's the same. Let me just do this real fast. So I charge like this, and I go pop, bang, summon this guy. I kill like right there, and then I'm going to play this sweetheart. So that way he only has 4 points of damage on the Bard. And one of the weirdest things of Bisu's Corsair DT strategy is that the Corsairs forced such a defense from Zerg, and then the Dark Templar forced such a defense from Zerg, that even though a lot of Zergs would stabilize, Bisu could do follow-up attacks with something like 8 Speed Zealots.
Get 'em, boys.
Previously... Alright, where's my Dwayne? Where's my Dwayne? Is this... Didn't this get rotated out? Come on. I mean, I'm dead. There's nothing that saves me.
I concede.
Previously, it was something like you rush for 20 Speed Zealots, and that was enough to really fuck up a Zerg. And Zergs were still winning 56% of the time against that. I should say 20 Zealots couldn't really do it. So Bisu, again, puts on so much pressure with Corsairs and DTs that makes the Zerg so fragile that even 8 Speed Zealots are enough to deal damage. So it was this, it's this really weird style that, if you think about it, you're managing your original 2 bases, you're getting a fast 3rd base, you're also managing Corsairs, which require a lot of babysitting, you're also managing Dark Templar, which require a lot of babysitting, and then you have this Speed Zealot troop, which requires a lot of babysitting. I mean, the amount of multitasking that Bisu was capable of was insane. And his gameplay after that finals revolutionized the Protoss vs. Zerg matchup so much. Since then, the standard in the matchup is to early expand and open Corsairs, period. That's the opening that you do. And after Bisu did that, it flipped from a 56% win rate for Zerg in the matchup to a 55% win rate for Protoss in the matchup. It's like a 20-point swing. We used to be ahead 10%, and now we're behind 10%. Isn't that insane? The innovation of one person in StarCraft. In one person. Is so significant. What am I gonna rip?
Tonight, a tale of
Sarah or whatever. It's a primordial drake. Ah. Isn't that amazing that one person's innovation flipped it 20%? It's fucking insane. Enderband 2 says, and he's a cutie. Yeah. When did this crazy Bisu innovation happen? Was it the 2006 MSL Finals or the 2005 MSL Finals? I'm pretty sure it was 2006. Bisu, 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 looking up Bisu. Wow, it was 2005? I don't fucking know, man. That's it, the 2006-2007 Golden TV MSL.
What?
Ah, that started in December of 2006 and ended 2007. Ain't that some nutty shit, baby?
Where shall I strike? On with the show!
Something like that's good. That was the series, man. Well, I think I'm retiring this deck. You know, I actually think I'm going to end the show a little early today, because I'm just feeling completely drained from the week, life, and not being able to play Prince of Persia Sands Time today. Really killed me. Just sapped the energy right out of me. But I'd like to note for the record, we went from rank 14 to rank 6 in 2 days of not that much playing. I'm gonna concede this. I think, you know what? Let's do something that we haven't done in a while. Let's do a little Q&A. Let's do a little Q&A. May as well go out. Well, fuck! I can't even die. I can't even Sudoku proper.
I concede.
Let's do a little Q&A, man. AMA. AMA. Should not ask me anything. You can ask anything. I won't answer everything. There's a chat. There's like tons of people who have stuff to ask. B Malloy123, can you add a little bit of clarification on what your comment means, and then I can answer? Markio's question grabber. Holy shit. Oh my god, Markio's question grabber. Oh, Markio. Captain Ever says, do you have a favorite Brood War game of all time? I think the Daum 2007 OSL finals between Iris and GG Play. That whole series holds a very special place in my heart. Iris, the Terran player, was known as the Berserker at the time because he was insane in terms of aggression. He never stopped attacking in like any matchup. Just attack, 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 attack. And attacking is a really hard thing to do properly in a game because it winds up in variant and unpredictable situations. For instance, if I play super defensively and I don't attack, I can pretty much have the exact same army at minute 5 every single time. Great. It's nice. Smaller problem for me to work with. Maybe I have to defend a scary attack or two, but I can say things like the scary attack happens at 7 minutes, and if the scary attack happens and I survive, here's the expected outcome. There's just less things that occur, but if you're an aggressive player, shit's changing constantly. You send your vultures in, they deal you, and you look and you go, okay, I actually don't want to kill any units here. I want to go for probes, and it's okay to suicide. And then you lose those, and now you're like, okay, now I'm in a situation where I don't have any vultures, and I normally do. And he has less probes, but he has more dudes. What now? You have to do a lot of feeling and judgment and just get good at it. And Iris was the best. And he'd never really made it to the finals. He had been third before. Very well-respected player on the CJ Antis Pro team. But he was actually in the finals, and he was against GG Play, who'd sort of had this meteoric rise at the time. And the first 2 games, there's no other way to describe it. Iris wrecked GG Play, like shit on him. And one of the things that's very remarkable to me about watching that game is a lot of the maps, down 2007 OSL, a lot of the maps were, I mean, they were just completely asymmetric. There were tons of ridiculousnesses in there. Oh, let me copy image address. Okay, so I'm going to open this map up. Let me see if it's going to show up properly. So look at this map. Here's a starting position. And then also here's a starting position. And then also here's a starting position. And then also here's a starting position. So the top right corner of the map has a natural expansion here. It has a sneak back door that can pick at these minerals and this gas geyser, and a very nice, easy to defend double bridge. This bottom right has a curl around. It has 2 minerals that can be mined to create a very wide access point here with an expansion. This one has a natural expansion that's very standard, except it does have a run-by in the back with an easily defendable third. This has an extremely tucked-away position, but a very vulnerable main base. Look at this map. By the way, for any of you who are interested in Brood War history, the top left side of the map here, this is Legacy of Char. If you know the map, Legacy of Char. This top right side of the map, this is Nostalgia. This bottom right side of the map, this is Rite of the Valkyries. And what the fuck is the name of this map? Shit, I know this map. I lost a game on this map and it made me fucking mad. The hell is the name of this map? I don't remember, man. Whatever. Like, this was one of the maps that they played on. Look at the asymmetry that's going on here. I think that there's this sort of modern sensation of everything needs to be exactly identical. It needs to be precisely even. 50-50 win rate is what balance means. I don't think that's what balance means. I think balance means that you feel like you have enough tools to change the outcome of what happened. Maybe at the end of the day it bakes out to 55-45, but if you still are a 45%er and you're like, you know, but I could do these other 8 things. That's what gives your game, that's what I should say, takes people's focus off of balance and puts it towards skill. How do I get better? Not how do I just wait for the developers to fix it for me. And so game 1 was on it was on Python. Game 2 is on this map, Fantasy. And I mean, Iris just shit on GG Play. Like, fucking destroyed the shit out of him. Especially game 2, where typically Terran players at that time would open up for a bio style of lots of Marines, some tanks to support, and then science vessels. And that's very key. Lots of science vessels for irradiates and detection and all the good stuff. Iris just kept building dropships, so he was going like 2 starport dropships. He had like 6 dropships just like flying all over, and Play just lost. And then game 3 is one of the closest games, I would say, in the fucking history of StarCraft. It was on this game called on this map called Hitchhiker, and why does it not let me? It was on this map called Hitchhiker. Everyone should go watch the series. It's on this map called Hitchhiker. Where is that? No, not the FE Star League. Down OSL 2007. Boo. right-click, copy, image address, Control-V, click, scroll, 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 da-da-da-da-da. This is the highest resolution I have. So the way that this map worked is that you have a starting position here, Zerg started here, and you'll note, follow my mouse, you kind of go down the ramp here, and there's your natural expansion, and it is a straight line to your opponent's natural expansion. The rush distance is very, 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 very short. And so Iris walled off here with barracks, actually maybe even walled off here with barracks, and was sending 2 racks of barracks here to GG Play's expansion to defend, 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 defend. And GG Play was barely holding on, and Iris rushed for a fast tank with 2 barracks of Marines and just tried to do an instant push. And I mean, I'm talking like edge of your seat micro. Like, there is no fucking way that Zerg can hold on to this unless Zerg micros his 6 Mutalisks absolutely perfectly. And that's just what GG Play did and managed to win the game. I mean, that game was fucking insane. I mean, the rest of the map, it doesn't really matter. Like, there's this roundabout path here. There's these buildings. You can destroy these. You can destroy these. These are the destructible rocks of the day. Here's more buildings you can destroy. So from the base, you can take a long into his base, or you can and kind of kill this and then so the distances between the bases are very odd. Every single on Game Net Star League there was a kind of odd map. It was an odd map. So GG Play wins on that map. Game 3 was on a map called Monty Hall, and GG Play actually just, excuse me, dominated that game. And then Game 5 was a long one. Most of the time, StarCraft games, Brood War, are like 8 to 12 minutes. Is pretty typical. It's pretty good time to have a length of a game that's just like, oh yeah, some stuff happened and then one guy got him. But if games have a little bit more development to them, they'll go 15 to 20 minutes or so. But this was like a 45-minute long game. It was a long game where, again, Iris, the Berserker, is just pounding on GG Play at every single base. And like Terran was up on bases. GG Play was like having a hard time holding on. You can always tell when Zerg's having a struggle when they don't quite have enough gas to get everything that they need. You know, you need gas for Defilers, you need gas for Lurkers, you need gas for upgrades, you need gas for Scourge to defend drops, and you're seeing GG Play cut the Scourge and just build extra Sunken Colonies. That way he can defend the back. And GG Play just keeps holding on and 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 getting every little tiny edge he can until finally, in like the last 2 minutes, does this incredible turnaround and winds up winning the game. I mean, it was just remarkable. It was just the most incredible series. And I remember it started at 2 or 3 a.m. Pacific, and I was doing a research, little research ship at Harvey Mudd over the summer, and me and my little research partner, we just stayed up till 6:30 in the morning watching that. And I mean, I was hyped. I like could not even go to bed after that. I was like, "Rah! Rah!" I was just so sick. Oh, it was so incredible. So I don't know if any of you have any other questions, but that's probably my favorite series of all time. Toast brought X's. Why do you stream Dota so rarely outside of the Purge stream? I mean, it's just not enough time. Like, I'm a human being who has not enough hours. I mean, that's it. There you have it. Hours don't exist. Ironbound says, what are your thoughts on Crowfall? Have you heard of it? What do you think? I am so fucking interested in Crowfall. I've never played MMOs. Ever. I don't even think I've put an hour into an MMO. But Crowfall is this MMO that's upcoming where you do the usual MMO things. You have a character and you can participate in wars and kill other people and loot and become more powerful with spells. But the server resets every month, every N days. And so the thought process, the Crowfall developers, I believe, worked on a previous game that had a combination of letters that I can never remember, like it was Blackgate or Shadow Fighters or some bullshit. it was a game that was heavily centered around PvP clans fighting over territories, taking it back and forth from each other. And what they found is that it started interesting, but then Shadowbane, that's what it was called. Shadowbane, thank you, Ionbound. God, that is a forgettable ass name. Holy shit. It's a Dark Blade. Never gonna remember that fucking name. Yeah, but so Shadowbane had factional PvP combat that was really supposed to be cool and interesting, but everyone hit an existential crisis pretty quickly, which is like, but why would I go invade their faction and take their land for my people? Why would I do that? Who gives a shit? And so Crowfall is a response to a lot of those problems in Shadowbane, but also what we've seen in the rest of the MMO market, where when you create these persistent worlds where you're trying to say, now you players go, and you players figure out your content, like in EVE Online. If the players aren't kind of trying to craft their own motivations, nothing happens. And I think EVE Online is a little unique in how successful it's been. It's the most robust of these, but there's been plenty of these, oh, factional PvP, and everyone gets bored. Who gives a shit? I take your land, you're going to take it right back. PlanetSide 2 had this problem. If you didn't really enjoy the gunplay that much, or even if you did, totally existential crisis. We captured the point, and then they recaptured it, and we're going to recapture it, and then they're going to recapture it, and we're going to recapture it. So Crowfall tries to combat against this by having server resets, where every month it just sort of like unplugs and plugs the server back in again, so you got to start over. I think it's a really interesting and clever idea. I think it's really interesting. I think it has quite a lot of potential. Because I think about something, what's a good example? Like roguelikes. Roguelike games are a great example. Roguelike games, well, for any of you who don't know what roguelikes are, they tend to be games where you start at the beginning and you play as long as you can until you die, and then you have to completely start all over again. And the thought process is that you might have a shitty run and die in 5 minutes, or you might have a pretty good run and die in 30 minutes, but you're probably going to die. What's interesting is the different paths you take to try to get deeper, not how deep you have gone in the game, which takes a big content burden off the game developers. So I think that's super interesting, the idea of server reset thing. It might be the perfect MMO for me to get into, because I have no fucking time to play. Like, I'm going to get on EVE Online, I'm going to start a company, and I'm going to give up my life and my cats and everyone I care about, and so that way when I take a star, they'll retake it, and then I'll retake it. Silent Knight says, what do you think the balance is like in the different matchups in Brood War in this modern meta? Is it largely map dependent, or does one race have distinct edge in a particular matchup? There tends to be a triangular imbalance of Terran tends to have an edge on Zerg, who tends to have an edge on Protoss, who tends to have an edge on Terran. But the big debate in the Korean communities is about Tesagi, which is that Terran is the most powerful race. Terran is imbalanced. And a lot of what people are arguing is that, no, Flash and Last are imbalanced. They're the ones who are so fucking good, you are always hopeless and you can't beat them. There's been a lot of recent just great for Terran maps, like Camelot. Holy shit, I don't know how you're supposed to win on that map. That map sucks for everyone but Terran, man. Ugh. But it tends to be map dependent. It tends to be very, very map dependent. But, I mean, the fact is that the map is just, or the game is so unbelievably rich and deep and incredible. It's fine. It's totally okay. Yeah, Underbounty says, Desagi Vulture is so OP, 75 minerals for 3 mines that do 120 damage. I do think the Vultures are just fucking insane units. They're so insane. Oh my gosh, they're almost as insane as Zerglings with the Adrenaline upgrade. Zerglings with Adrenaline upgrade is insane. What the fuck? Landang says, please, I need to know, chocolate or vanilla? Vanilla, actually. You want vanilla for what you're doing. Why LeVay says, how come you never get worn out? What's your secret? I'm worn out right fucking now. I'm worn out! I'm worn out! I cannot answer your question as of now. It's done. I'm tired. I'm tired. You're fucking tired, man. Are you kidding me? I'm exhausted. So exhausted. I'm spraying saliva all over myself. And I'm going to order a pizza after this. Oh, food coma. Get in my body. Yes. Is it cheat day yet? No, I don't care. I don't care. I couldn't get Prince of Persia Sands of time to play. I'm going to eat my feelings. I'm going to eat them. I'm going to eat a full medium pizza's worth of feelings tonight. You know how I'm going to feel? A little bloated and gassy. Otherwise, let's take a break then, for fuck's sake. Yeah, I'm going to take a break, right? I'm just going to end my stream 30 minutes early. I don't give a damn. Yeah. My face says, ha ha ha, geez, thanks for the answer. Day Hulk. Yeah. A Geek Perspective says, I remember ages ago you talking about teacher and teaching while still studying, and just yesterday I overheard my students talking about your stream. It's come full circle. That's so sick. Skogne says, where do you stand on the classic question, a tree falls in the forest with no one around, does it make a sound? I'm very pragmatic, so the answer to the question is only relevant in the context of trying to get some shit done. And if it doesn't matter, then who gives a shit, you know? Takashinto says, how long did the recording take you that you had to do last night? About an hour and 10 minutes or so. Ellipses, what about StarCraft 2? Do you keep up with the scene? Just kind of like top 4s or so of events, but I watch a lot more streams. M. Canning's great, Beyond's great, True's great, True the King of Zerglings, love watching True play, Cats is always good. Watch Hugh Marine, reasonable amount with his little like back camera angle thing. Yeah. You're Sail. Huh? Dark Nizra says, do you have any specific investment strategy for retirement? I've always been interested in if streamers take retirement seriously or not. I mean, I do, but I mean, it really does not seem like putting money away into a fund to try to have it make X% is very reliable anymore. I mean, like, if you put your money in a bank, I mean, like, how much does it make? It's like, I think 0.02% interest, I think is what it is. It's just stupidly tiny. And so I'm spending as much of my effort doing two things. I'm trying not to spend money frivolously, but the centerpiece of my strategy is absolutely not, if I just save all my money and put it away, it will eventually earn money for me down the road. It just does not really seem that way, unless I want to do heavily involved, you know, equities trading or whatever the fuck. For me, it's how do I make money? How do I make money? That's the big question. What projects can I do to actually be able to sit down and generate money? So that's really my strategy, is how do I do, I don't know, we'll call it 4 or 5 successful projects by age 50, so I'm good. Warleve says, Dana manages money like an SC match. He spends it as soon as he gets it. I'm like, yes, the bank account's empty. I'm doing great. Hongus McGee says, as Brewer person, what do you think of Faker sitting on the Bonjour throne? That doesn't even mean anything. He plays a different game. What do you think about Gordon Ramsay being the Bonjour of cooking? I don't know. It's great. I think I like his TV shows. Oh, my shit. It's gone. So I'll probably take money and put it away into retirement-y things, but I'm not going to be too excited about it. I'm not going to be like, I did it. I saved for retirement, man. Fuck yeah. For me, that's like worst-case scenario planning. I'd rather just make a shitload of money. Yeah. We're a Despian Sheriff right now. Oh, well, they're right there. Look at them. Hi, babies. Do you ever see yourself buying property? Maybe. Maybe. Depends. Maybe. Maybe. Verino says, can you suggest a movie for me to watch? Yes. Man from Nowhere. The Man from Nowhere. The Man from Nowhere. Ah, coffee's acrid. Jesus. Alright, let's take two more. I'll take two more outside of this question. Says, I've never been asked before, but what happened to Spell Slingers? I have no idea. You have to ask Geek and Sundry. It's not my show. Purple Phil says, were you nervous about moving to the Bay Area and leaving LA? No, not at all. I'm pretty brash. I just like do stuff. Cassaran says, what type of coffee do you drink? Is it a special blend? Or what's for on cheap? Yeah, I just like big bulk coffee. Not too strong. Sounds great. Proto Guy 777 says, what are you going to take as your final question? Yours. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Let's listen to some music. I'm just going to order a pizza, man. It's going to be, oh, it's going to be so good. I'm going to eat the fucking pizza. Eat the pizza, baby. Gonna eat the pizza, baby. Gonna eat pizza with pepperoni and mushroom. I'm gonna get the extra tomato sauce in the pizza, baby.